Perfect game, 10 out of 10. The Olympics are around the corner, and it's been a while since we've had a proper official Olympics game, unless you count those Sonic and Mario games, but I personally enjoyed the London 2012 game. It was a good laugh with friends, as is this game, and with it recently being released on PlayStation Now, I think it's the perfect place for it. Obviously that's not saying it's bad. As you start the game, it asks you to create your own athlete. Now this is where I made the absolute physical powerhouse that is Big Steve, who loves four things: Stella, pasties, Brexit, and hitting his wife. This ends up being your main avatar for the game's events. You can also customise the entire team as well and have a whole heap of Steves. It's a good system. There are tons of outfits and styles to pick, and you can have a different one for each event. Want your Steve to wear a sumo thong on a BMX? Go for it. So the game has 18 events for you to play off and online, and whilst none of them are going to light the world on fire, none of them are terrible either. If I covered each one, we would be here all day. Most of them entail mashing X, but sometimes you might need to pace yourself or time it right, so there is some variety. The 100-metre sprint, for example, is simple: mash X to run fast and another button to stretch across the line, and seeing Steve reaching speeds that will break the sound barrier whilst wearing a sumo thong is top stuff. At least that's what I thought about the simplicity. The game hides hints like charging up at the start away until you've played the events a couple of times, but you can press start and view the controls from there. Kind of weird the game doesn't tell you this stuff right away. Then you have quite a few events with totally different control schemes, like your basketball, football, baseball and rugby. I've seen reviews tan these modes because you can't switch teammates when you're on the defence, but you absolutely can. Don't expect FIFA or NBA 2K out of these, but they are easily approachable games to just have fun in. Works well if you have kids or people who aren't into games. You also have stuff like the long jump, swimming and hammer throw that mix it up a bit more, and obviously some events are better than others. I know I said none of them are terrible, but the BMX event is toilet. Clunky load of poo. Obviously for all these events, depth isn't the main focus, but that doesn't mean there aren't some elements to really nail down. Like in the long jump, you have to get your jump angle right. Football has special shots you can do when the meter is full, and the tennis has different shot types to pull off and counter. So it's not without any depth. And the controls are simple but effective, so none of the events feel clunky, besides BMX obviously. As you can probably tell from the footage, Tokyo 2020 leans more on the arcade side of things, unlike previous entries, which is fine from an accessibility standpoint, as it feels more gamey, as well as making the events feel more accessible. What I don't understand is why there aren't any more events in the game. I mean, you could add the 200 metre and 400 metre with the same mechanics as the 100 metre or relay event. Considering the previous game, London 2012, had 31 events, it seems like a step back a bit. If you're playing offline, you have 3 rounds to complete in each event: qualifier, semi-final and final. Think of this as easy, medium and hard. With most events it's not too bad on hard, but on some it feels like the AI has been on some serious performance enhancing drugs, and you have to do every step perfectly to even stand a chance. Online is a different story obviously, because real people have the chance to make mistakes, and in events where athletes take turns, everyone has their go at once and you just see the ghost, so that keeps the pace of the matches up. You can also play local on your console with 2 players, not 4 unlike the 2012 game. Again, feels like a step back, but online with some friends it's a right laugh. Visually the game is okay, you can tell it's a mid-budget game. It has a cartoony style to it and the colours all look very nice, the animations work fine, and it runs all good on the PS4. As I said at the start, PS Now is the perfect place for this. I couldn't recommend it at 35 quid since I don't think the longevity is there. But to break out when you have mates round or to play online for an hour, it's good fun. People who are wanting a more realistic adaptation of the Olympics will be disappointed, but the game is perfect for families, young'uns and people who just want some good clean fun, to be honest. Playing this just made me realise we need the Fat Bloke Olympics. Imagine the sprinters beating the 5-minute world record for the 100 metre. Quality stuff.
I'm such a mess, I'm lost, I'm no good at this. I'm in love, still in love, still in love with you. Hard as I try, I can't even drink this pain away. Memories of you, twisting my view. I've been a fool.